The federal government is doing more to remove all the encumbrances to the generation of more power by the nation's various power generating companies. The crew of Infrastructure Weekly visited the Niger Delta company-owned Omotosho power plant in Ondo State and had an encounter with the Chief Operating Officer, Idris Ginso, who spoke extensively on issues in generating power. He disclosed that the sector will continue to grow with support from the federal government, which has continued to remove impediments to effective functioning of the sector. Let's take a listen.
Keep us alive.
The federal government is doing everything possible to remove impediments to power generation and move the nation to the path of development. Here at Omotosho Generation Plant, owned and operated by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, the success of the Buhari administration is obvious for any discerning observer to see. The company, which started commercial operations on the first unit on August 2, 2012, and the last unit on 21st December 2012, was part of the then National Integration Power Project and is now completed. According to the Chief Operating Officer of the plant, Idris Ginso, the impediments that have stunted the ability of the plant to contribute fully to the national grid are now being progressively removed with investments by the federal government.
Remodeling or modifying the infrastructure, the dilapidated or the old infrastructure is part of the milestone achievement, because without those infrastructure, and I think the power plant, the power sector is part of it. So that should be the ground zero, because without it, we are not going to achieve anything. Then the eligible customer that they have introduced is a very good, remarkable policy, which will really help to evacuate the stranded energy.
The plant, which is an open gas cycle turbine, 500 megawatts power station with 4 by 125 megawatts, has a combined capacity connected to the national grid through a DC 330 kV line on Benin-Ikeja West axis. The Chief Operating Officer gave further insight into the plant's operations.
The power plant belongs to the 3 tiers of government, where we have the parent company, which is called the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. So our Omotosho Generation Company is one of the 10 power plant subsidiary company. Like I told you, we started commercial operation by August. That should be 2012. And the last unit to be commissioned is December the same year, 2012. We have total energy produced to date. That should be 175,000 megawatts, while the running hours to date is 71 hours to date. Our availability factor should be around 75 to 80, which since we are on the grid. Dispensation through the Minister of Power and Steel, we are able to invest in the 33 kV line to Omotosho town, where we connected them to the grid, and I think that one too is part of the social corporate responsibility.
He lauded the federal government for its investment in the power sector and added that the company will continue to stand the test of time. He disclosed that the operation of the plant has improved following repair works carried out to restore some of its major equipment. The parent company of the plant is also involved in corporate social responsibility projects with the host communities.
That we are facing here is a global one, which cut across all the power generation that we are connected to the grid. Mostly for ours here is the evacuation constraint, which we know government is vigorously doing something about it by constructing a new 330 kV line and the 132 line that pass from Benin through here to Ikeja West 1 to Ikorodu. We are aware of that, so we know it's transient. The gas molecule constraint, we know that it's been trying to improve based on the more funding or more gas molecules being pumped into the line.
The traffic into this direction.